also going to be watching a brand new video. Looks like there's some leaked gameplay of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. A Drive on YouTube just released a video. We're going to be watching and reacting to that, so I hope you guys enjoy it. Let's go.
A ton of different news outlets and content creators had a chance to play Pokemon Scarlet and Violet early. They got 2 hours of gameplay out of it, and a ton of information is coming.
What was for lunch, Scarecrow? I had a roast beef turkey sandwich.
Pieces of information. It's a one epic video for you guys, so let's dive in. All right, so all these people had basically the same footage, right? And we looked at about 6 or 7 different kind of news articles and a couple different content creator videos. I'll put all the sources in the description below if you guys want to kind of get your own take. But I'm just going to compile kind of some of the overall thoughts that I saw from those different places. So the first thing is, this is the open world that they had a chance to explore. They had like this area that they could explore.
Oh, the right side.
They had 3 different paths that they can go down. They could go down the kind of Team Star path, where they take on the Team Star base.
Yeah, A Drive is awesome. Great YouTuber.
Brassius, or they can do the Stony Cliff Titan Cloth and kind of see how that's gonna go. So some general things, I'm gonna kind of highlight some of the stuff. People were very excited about the open world approach. They really felt like it kind of aligned with Breath of the Wild for the first time. One of the things that was noted was there was really only one loading zone, which was like kind of the main big city. Generally speaking, everything else loaded pretty good, which is good. I'll talk a little bit about the graphics a little bit later, but there was only the one main loading zone. Certain events like the Team Starbase also went into loading, but the map feels super large and it was really fun for them to explore. Some other cool features, the PC is in your bag again. There's a little bit of uncertainty as to whether or not you can turn on or off your experience share. Cerebi.net actually confirmed overworld shinies in encountering a shiny. I believe it was a shiny Skiddo in the wild, which is pretty cool. I really thought the UI and all the interfaces looked super duper good. And one of the things that was probably the best was Koraidon and Miraidon movement was incredible. Some of these clips look amazing, and it seems as though you actually get access to all of the different functionalities of these ride Pokemon. At the
they can drive and walk?
It's uncertain as to whether that was only included because it's a demo, but all of these people had the chance to basically run,
What's
jump,
up, Buttery?
run, everything with Koraidon and Miraidon. It was apparently very seamless as they went through the game, which was awesome. I mean, like I said, this footage looks super duper cool of the Pokemon like jumping up and down and kind of moved around the map. It looks very neat in my opinion. In terms of customization, there's some pretty extensive customization. There's 4 uniforms from the schools to choose from.
Oh, 4
which is a little
uniforms.
bit basic. They're based on the season, so depending on which season you pick, you obviously have more or less clothing in terms of that. But there's an extensive set of customization for your character in terms of
I'm not sure yet, Professor Boo. That sounds pretty
eyebrows,
interesting.
Eye shape, eye color, like the whole 9. It seems
Level
like
adjustment
really
depends
decked
on
out
what
the
level you
customization
are.
options for your
I'm not
character,
sure for the
minus
gyms,
the clothing
perhaps.
option, which is restricted to mostly just uniforms. That may be something we see updated in
Lots of
DLC in the
character
future,
customization.
but
I
really
like
cool
that.
stuff.
I think that was like my
Apparently, you
favorite
can do a lot
part
of
about
customization from the
Legends of
beginning.
Arceus.
Like, when you choose your character, it's not about just choosing a skin color and like a default kind of template of your character. You can actually customize all of this from the beginning of the game, which is cool, as opposed to having it locked in a salon like 2 hours in, right? Obviously, you have the free room to either do one of the 3 paths, whether it's the Titan, Team Star, or Gym Order. That's
Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, Kev Larson, the
kind of
game that's
reported
coming out on
battle
November
camera and how
18th next
seamless
month.
the battles were. Outside of music change, you kind of just go right into battle when you're riding on the legendary, or just encounter a Pokemon.
Can you
with a
finally
scroll
choose no hair? I'm not sure.
A lot of these different websites kind of touted the fact that there was a robust amount of Pokemon out in the wild, so it felt really full until you get to the cities, in which case you no longer have those wild Pokemon. It's more like trainer Pokemon and stuff. We knew this from the trailers, but follow Pokemon and your trainer react to weather. So apparently Fergaraf run happily in the rain. There's a lot of really cool movement stuff. You can crouch, run, sneak. If you press the crouch button
run, and
while running,
sneak. Okay,
you slide.
okay.
There's no dodge roll like in Legends Arceus, though. You have the freedom to change your nicknames whenever, and one of the biggest things is like the whole, when you walk in front of a trainer, they see you and then they battle you. That's not a thing in this game. They actually took that out. Instead, trainers will toss and play a Pokeball in their hand, indicating that they can be battled. You walked up to them and you talk to them to initiate the battle.
Yeah,
so
we're all fine with the zigzag.
No longer do you run into a trainer without actually wanting to run into the trainer, which I don't like that change personally, but I guess in open world.
Wait,
like,
you
probably
only
just go around
battle a
anyway,
trainer
so
if you
why
want
make
to?
it a
You're
big
not
deal?
forced into
One
battles
that's
anymore?
worth noting is there was some instances of people saying that like wild Pokemon will spectate a battle. It doesn't seem as though they jump into the battle like in Legends Arceus, but there are instances where like players were battling against wild Pokemon, and then you can still see other wild Pokemon roaming in the background. Apparently, there's multiple Dragon Pokemon early on in the game, and we've seen from leaks that there's a pretty wide, extensive group of Pokemon early in the game. So all the people who played this had a set team, right? They had like Belly Bolt and Armarouge. So they had like a specific team that they had to play with. So there was some limitations in terms of what we were going to get out of that. On Brassius, the grass type trainer, they found it to be very easy. One of the things that made it easy is they had the Armor Rouge, so they could just like blow through.
Oh,
Brassius.
interesting
I
zigzag
don't know if that's
for like the starters.
An indicator of the difficulty level of the game. One of the things that was noted is the Sunflora in the gym. There was no trainers in the gym that you had to battle, but rather you did this little quest. Only 1 or 2 of the Sunflora battled the trainer, so again, nothing too crazy there. In terms of the Titans, you end up facing Cloth. You beat it, it kind of runs away. You have to find it again. You beat it the second time, it runs away. And then they tell you, do not follow it. So maybe there's more going on, but they said there seems to be more with the quest line, but that makes it hard to evaluate how engaging the Path of Legends will be in practice. So we're not exactly sure how that's going to play out. And then the other option was the Team Star base. You enter from the front of the base. You can't go on the other sides. You have to go in through the front. You do this kind of like Let's Go feature where you send out your Pokemon and they do this auto battle, which is a really big deal.
I think
in this
the
game,
auto battling's dope.
Farm items and different candies and whatever else
Yeah.
you're going to need to play through the game.
They'll pick up items for you
cool.
in case you miss something. If it's
walks
walks close enough by it, it'll pick it up for you.
This is something really cool. I'm not sure if this was supposed to be in the article, but one of the websites actually reported on this, and I didn't see it on any other reporting. So I wonder if they weren't supposed to say this, but I'm going to tell you guys. They said the ensuing battle with the leader, Mela, surprised me for a number of reasons. Torkoal had Drought. It's set up for a fire team. My Wiglet's water moves weren't able to do much. After Torkoal, my next opponent was the Starmobile itself. So again, further confirmation that the Starmobile
engine
is
Pokemon.
a Pokemon. It threatened to sweep my team with speed boost ability and powerful attacks. Luckily, Armor Rouge
A speed boost ability
survived easily with Flash Fire, but it would have been much tougher without it. So that tells me Starmobile may have some fire type moves. We believe it to be Poison Steel, but it may have some fire type moves to fit with the fire team Star Mela. But again, further confirmation, and we know that its ability is going to be
Let's go,
speed
Brian.
boost.
We'll feed Kona here in a second. Thank you, man.
Responses around Terra Raids. Terra Raids now have a timer, which is very, very cool. So you're going to be able to kind of go a little faster. Everyone chooses their moves at the same time. It's
Oh,
just like
Terra Raids are going to be timed?
Situation, apparently, the Terra Raids are. And
you have to beat it in a certain amount of time?
When you Terrasilize, you lose your original type, but you keep the stabs you had, and you gain the buff from the Terra type you need. So if that's correct, and we're understanding that correctly, if you have, let's say, a Ferrothorn that is Steel and Grass, and you Terrasilize into Fire type, that means that your Steel and Grass moves still have Stab, apparently, but now you have Fire Stab, and then your defense is changed. So if that is the case of how Terrasilizing works, that could be absolutely mind-blowingly insane for many Pokemon. I think of Delmise getting 4 stabs because of its ability, which is kind of cool. We've got a new interface for healing, which is cool, and then there's a handful of different mechanics and stuff that were talked about. Sandwiches apparently have a really big place in this game. The picnic functionality.
I heard they help with shiny
buffs,
hunting.
Increase spawns for certain types, and increase your friendship, get XP. It seems like we're going to be making
If it increases the spawn rate for a Pokemon, then that's going to help you shiny hunt a Pokemon, theoretically.
Which we've seen. They just evolved. We saw like a Noivern in a previous trailer do that. You can actually backstrike wild Pokemon. So if you throw your Pokemon, if you throw your Pokeball at a Pokemon and hit them from behind, they'll flinch the first turn, which makes them easier to battle and catch, obviously, which is kind of cool. And then you will see the Wild Terror Pokemon moving around the map. We saw that Jigglypuff in a previous trailer. Apparently they move, so like they're not just static or just standing there. And
alright, sounds good, Zigzag Claw. Thanks for hanging, bro. Much love.
Complete the story to get your different TMs and things like that.
The TM shop.
Again, I talked about the auto battle.
I wonder how many TMs will be available right off the bat in the TM shop at that very first Pokestop.
Materials, you really have to do auto battles. Auto battles makes it a little more fun than arduous. So you basically are going to want to auto battle through the whole game. Just kind of let your Pokemon do their thing, and then you
auto battling through the whole game.
Those materials, so that way you can get the TM.
Really?
Right? Like you send them out, they farm some Snomes, you get the materials from Snome, you use that to craft Icy Wind, and then you move on, right? So you're going to have to do that, but it seems like that'll be like very naturally integrated into the game. In terms of like overall impressions,
kind of like manual battling.
Impression was that it's very much so like Breath of the Wild in the context of like you have the ability to kind of do your thing, which is really cool. GameSpot and some other places said that, you know, they really liked it. They thought that there were some hiccups in the pre-release demo. There was some rough kind of graphical stuff going on, which I think is worth mentioning. And that's probably the biggest thing, right? Like a few different places kind of reported on this, is that there's some massive graphical issues right now.
Strip for Kona.
But again, this is pre-release, right? This is a demo. So like how harsh
Thanks
can
for
you
feeding
judge
her.
this? I don't know. but it's not out of the realm of possibilities. If you guys remember, like, Wild Area when you were connected to Wi-Fi was brutal, dude. So, like, I'm not sure what this is gonna be. I would temper your expectations, because even though they have time to fix some of these things, it's not as if Pokemon and Nintendo or Game Freak are, like, notoriously known for their incredibly positive success when it comes to, you know, having really smooth graphic kind of games and things like that. So just be mindful that there may be, like, you know, frame rate drops and things like that. That's something I think we're kind of accustomed to.
Some frame rate drops.
So that's more or less everything. I think I covered pretty much everything I could cover. Again, I'll have all the sources in the description if you guys want to kind of.
Dude, A-Drive makes such good content. I love
really
this
cool
guy.
Stuff that came today from those who got a chance to
Make sure
play
you guys
early,
are
that
subscribed to him on
preview.
YouTube.
And again,
He
we
posts
are less
like
than a month away,
actively,
so things are
very
pretty
actively.
wild for Pokemon
Awesome,
Scarlet
awesome
and
stuff.
Violet. Like the